Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and I want to showcase another Nightmare Hydra run. Now, this is almost or the same team that I've done a Nightmare Hydra run with before, that I believe I've showcased, but my gear's changed a little. We have something fun involved now with blessings. And yeah, I really think this is more solid now than ever. It's also a new rotation. This is rotation 5. It was successful through rotation 4 and rotation 3 as well. Rotation 4, I actually had a little bit more difficulty with this team getting a 1 key every first try. This was my first try. I probably could have done better. I mean, I had some of the worst RNG possible. The Head of Torment kept popping up. You know how that goes. But, I mean, RNG aside of which head is going to stick around and mess up my damage or not, I was prepared for all 6 heads, as always. So that's the goal of this. We always want to be prepared for all 6 heads. Now, my preparation for that Torment, not as ideal. One of these days, I will switch some of my people around to get Duchess in my Nightmare team for that protection with Perfect Veil for dealing with the Head of Torment. But for now, I really have been enjoying this team, minus the last rotation. I was just a little bit more off, maybe just affinity-wise. But yeah, I actually have some more fun involved in this team too, with Mother Sybil having Smite, Blessing, Royal Guard has Phantom Touch, and Geomancer has Cruelty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the run. I'm going to speed it up to like 2 times or so probably, and then you guys, if you want to watch it slower and watch what's happening specifically, you can just go to your playback speed settings and slow it down. So that'll give you the option to watch some parts of it slower, but I will explain all of their roles as we go to show you the builds. So I guess maybe in the end, you know what? How about I show you the builds first and we'll talk about their jobs, and then you could watch the run and it will make more sense. So, and you can look out for the blessings procking and all of that fun stuff. So let's go to keep result first. Boom, let's go. Gotta keep that result. That was solid. I'm fine with that. That was a nice start today. It's not, I kind of was hoping for a little more with my Smite, but she does have an AoE A1, and that's going to be a lot of RNG. With damage is going to be something like Smite. How often does it actually proc? It's a pretty low chance with a 1-star, so that could affect my damage a lot. So I'm curious, if I had more luck with it proccing more frequently, how much more damage could I have done? But let's start there. Let's start with my Mother Sybil. So if you guys watched my other video regarding the rotation 5, or if you read my article on hellhades.com regarding rotation 5, you'll see that I actually mentioned possibly benching Geomancer and probably not using Mother Sybil. But in the end, I ended up using them, and I'll explain why. So Mother Sybil, she's just a really great lead. She has a speed aura. I did some regearing and had a little bit under under stats for my speed, but 24% in all battles. That's just really, really helpful. Her A1 is an AoE, so we have decreased speed AoE and fills her turn meter when she goes, so she goes pretty often. This is some nice protection when the Head of Wrath pops out, and sure he does. And I never really use the A3 unless I have to, which I mean, there were some times I probably should have, but I didn't. I never use the A3 with her. I don't really feel it's necessary. Her passive is helpful for healing and stuff if she gets revived and boosts everyone's turn meter, so not too bad. But her masteries here, they're probably the same as I've had. I haven't changed any masteries. I do have her in a Guardian set, so she actually heals every turn, so it's like having a regen set or something, or Immortal on her. But she also protects, it's kind of like an ally protect. She absorbs the damage. So it kind of helps a bit for dealing with some hard smacks. Luckily, the Head of Wrath was not out the whole time though, so that's not always an issue here. But let me quick show you my stats. 255 speed. I wanted to get everyone above 250 speed, but because of her lead and the decreased speed from her and the increased speed from Sify, I didn't feel the need to actually hit that 250 mark on all the people, so you'll see that. I also should mention we do have Brimstone. Brimstone is Smite, as we all call it, as well. This is really nice. It's a chance to proc, only 20% chance of placing a Smite debuff, though, so it doesn't proc as much as you'd really hope, but it still happens quite a bit, and it added a lot of damage. She didn't do much damage before. I mean, I do have crit rate on her, but not the best. What do I actually have on her? I had 100%. Okay, almost 98%. So we're not too bad there. Not too bad at all. So next up we have Sify. I have my Arena Sify. No changes from my Arena build. Just a fast Sify. Fast enough. Not crazy fast for end game Arena, but fast enough to do what I need her to do. I don't really do full-on speed teams anyway these days. And she's in my masteries for Arena as well, so simple as that. I don't have any blessings for Sify yet, so that's not even a consideration. And then, let's see, we have Skull-Lord of Vargal as my Mischief target. So, he is my Mischief target, and he's my Provoker for the Head of Decay. He does such a good job of this. He has amazing base stats. His base resistance is actually 90, so that's quite high. It makes it easy for him to build up that extra resistance for being a Mischief tank. Not too bad getting the accuracy on him as well, and I did make him extra fast. I made him fast enough so that with the speed lead in mind, plus the decreased speed debuff and the increased speed buff, he's gonna go twice. You'll notice he goes every single time twice to the Head of Decay, except when people start to get eaten toward the end and it gets a little messy, but that's expected. But the only time you'll actually notice when you watch the run that there's a ton of resists. I got 3%ed way too often. It was quite mean. I was not happy with that. But I should have 400 accuracy. That's probably my own fault. This is a little risky. It's not. I should have closer to 400 for dealing with for dealing with Nightmare anyways, so maybe that was my own fault. Who knows? I might have changed a piece of gear and didn't even realize. We'll see. But yeah, he is solid. He's so much fun, and I really love using Skull-Lord Vargal and Hydra. So, and then let's see, we have, who's next? Geomancer. I did use Geomancer, even though I typically say he's not the best for the starting rotation not having Wrath in it, but when it comes to dealing with Nightmare and Brutal Hydra, you're going to be dealing with all of the heads no matter what. Like, if you watch the run, wait till I decapitate the first two heads. What pops up? The two heads that are not part of the starting rotation, of course, so you definitely don't want to rely on the RNG of the starting rotation if we're talking Nightmare, Hydra especially, or Brutal, honestly. So I prepared for all the heads. Now, I do have a Awakened Star level of 3 for my Geomancer, so I actually put Cruelty on him. He doesn't have a high... I don't think my Geomancer has a high attack. Let's see. I have him in Relentless gear. No, I have really low attack on my Geomancer, so I didn't want to put Phantom Touch on him. It didn't make sense for him. It's better for someone with high attack. So considering who was going to be in my team, I knew that Cruelty would help the whole team more versus just helping like his damage. So that was a really good choice. So here on the stats, I have him over 250 speed as well. I did not worry about getting him 100% crit rate, although that would help with the damage, of course. I'm more so focused just getting the accuracy, the speed, and being in Relentless gear. Relentless or Reflex is great for him. You also can try to get Refresh accessories. So yeah, with that in mind, let me show you the blessings here. So I did use Cruelty, like I said. It's 3-star, gets up to 10% decreased defense for bosses. So that's really helpful. That's helping everyone else do more damage. So you'll notice the Cruelty procs as the heads pop up and he starts proccing it again. You'll see that pop up right above him, so you could tell when that's actually working. Plus, this does provide more stats, so this gives 400 attack. Hopefully, I can get a 4-star or higher, ideally. Just to skip the stars in between and go right to 6, honestly. And get some extra stats here as well, but he's so good for this, and Cruelty really helps the team as a whole, so I really like that. I definitely noticed that Hydra just felt a lot easier this week with the blessings on, so it's fun to have the blessings involved. And then let's see here. So Oh yeah, so I wasn't going to use Geomancer, right? That's what we talked about in my other video. But the reason I ended up using him is, well, a couple things. Insurance. I ended up using Ugo for my block buffs. And I don't have Uko yet, who would have been the better affinity for this. So I figured having a couple insurances for sake of block buffs not landing is not a bad thing. Plus, the Head of Wrath is gonna come up, and it sure did. So once the Head of Wrath is back out there, boom, Geo's damage is way up. But I would say if you're talking hard or normal Hydra, I would not use Geomancer in this rotation. There's just better options, and you can just use straight up HP burn, AoE like Mordecai instead, or Ninja, or something a little bit more fun, instead of Geo. But anyway, so here he has a steal of the buff, so that kind of gives me some protection. If some buffs start to go up, he could steal them back off or remove them at least. And then if there's not block buffs and the poison cloud gets placed, he can place an HP burn even with the poison cloud there. So that way we can not have to worry about only weak hitting the heads with poison clouds. So this is a little bit of insurance for Ugo being bad affinity for this round. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So I did use Royal Guard. Oh wait, I did show my stats and my masteries, yes. Royal Guard here. I have him in Phantom Touch. Now, Phantom Touch does bonus damage based on this champion's attack. Unfortunately, again, only 20% chance of inflicting bonus damage. It's only 1 star, but it makes a difference and it's so helpful. So for him, I have him in a reflex set, so we have a chance to be able to go back and do that lovely A2 smash again. And here I have 4100 attacks. So that's pretty good, all things considered, especially for a long fight. That really helps. I mean, I used it on a Painkeeper in a clan boss, and she did a ton more damage with only like 3700 attacks. So I probably wouldn't be using it on much less than 4000 attack overall for Hydra, but it's quite helpful, honestly. I did give him a little bit of accuracy. He was able to help landing extra debuffs every once in a while, but it didn't. I really didn't overly focus accuracy on him this time, and I did boost his crit damage compared to my old build. My old build for Royal Guard only had him like with 140 at one time, 160% or something another time, so he can definitely use some help there. And I improved it a little bit at least. So he's a little slow, but that's okay. That's why we got the other speed improvements in the team. And then I have my masteries here. And then we have, last but not least, our girl Ugo. Where is she? She is not awake, and that's why she's not at the top. Here she is. All right, we have Ugo. There's the masteries. So my Ugo that I use in Nightmare Hydra, I do use in a reflex set. And then I have 1 refresh and a cleansing ring here as well. That's just helpful to have chances to proc her skills to be able to use like the heal and cleanse again, or retry to place block buffs if it doesn't land, which definitely happens. I mean, the 2 of the heads are weak affinity for her, but honestly, this rotation, when it comes to Nightmare Hydra, all the heads coming out, there's 2 of each affinity, so it is what it is at the end of the day. It's not too bad. If you're talking lower levels of Hydra where you're probably going to see the same heads pop back up, Ugo might be a little bit risky, so some insurance like I did with Geo might be smart with, or another character, or using like Mighty Uko when you get them from the fusion. Really good champion as well. So let me show you my stats here. This one was a little slow as well, but I didn't worry because of the same factors with speed. I did get her pretty decent defense and HP. I would like to get less defense and more HP focus, but based on some of my gear, that's just how things fell. Her heal is based on HP, so having higher HP should be the priority for Ugo. And then I do have a high accuracy here. In a perfect world, if I could balance my stats a little better in a reflex or relentless set, I would also give her a little bit of more resistance so she'd at least like ideally like, well, I don't know, 250, 300 at least, so when there's decreased accuracy on the heads, she doesn't get some of those poisons or provokes and stuff like that, because she is the cleanser at the end of the day, so she's supposed to be the one removing everything. But there we have it. Hope you guys enjoy this and to look into using some blessings in Hydra. I 100% noticed a massive ease increase, a massive difference, a big increase in damage. So I'm looking forward to playing around more with Hydra blessings and blessings in other areas of the game. We're gonna have to experiment more and more as I get more for different champions. But now, let's play the run and let's check it out.